Hello friends, my name is Anurag and a warm welcome to you. By this video, I just want to share some basics about RAID. Uh, okay, let's start with RAID. So what is RAID? Everybody knows the full form of RAID, that is Redundant Array of Independent Disks. So, and I don't think that makes any sense. So one thing we can consider, that is array. So what is array? Array is we can think about array like a bookshelf in library where the books will kept one above one. The same case in server, that our disks, suppose this 4 disks, and we could make an array of this, and this can be an array. Well, this is about array. Now we will move towards the RAID. What is the need of RAID and why the RAID is? Let's an example that I have a disk of 73 GB and I want to make some partitions. So obviously the root var slash whatever. So what happened if my vendor suggests that you need 50 GB of OPT and 20 GB of var? What can I do in this case? Answerless, no? So I can search for other options or wait till the manufacturer will build this disk of my size. Well, this is not possible. So I could look for the other options. And what are the available options? Only RAID. And one more thing we can do, that we can club the hard disk at the beginning of installation, and that is another part. So just consider this RAID. Well, this is just like virtualization of disks as the virtualization of server. So here we will knowingly or unknowingly we are dealing with the virtualization of disks. Well, what happened before, that the OS will directly talk to disks, and after implementation of RAID there is a virtual layer between the OS and disk, that is called volume, which talk to disk on behalf of OS. Okay, and the software which manages this volume is called volume manager, and Solaris has other implementation which is called SVM, Solaris Volume Manager, and Linux has LVM, and platform independent, the king of volume managers, the Veritas Volume Manager. Well, so this is about volume manager and the volumes. So now we can move towards the RAID. RAID has few levels. That is, first is RAID 0. And RAID 0 has two parts, that not two parts, that two types of implementation, that concat and stripe. Well, other is RAID 1, that is simple mirror. Another one is RAID 1 plus 0, and RAID 0 plus 1, and RAID 5. Okay, so what I had seen, that mostly we use RAID 0, RAID 1 and RAID 5. These two, what about these two? As I know, actually I never implemented this in production, so as I know that this could be only used in interview or for a very hot discussion, that which one is good and which one is bad. I apologize if I am wrong. That is my opinion. Okay, forget it. Let's begin with red 0. Red 0. So first we will consider the concat. What is concatenation? Suppose we have three disks that are in concatenation. Then I'm writing data. So the data will be written on this disk until the disk is full. When the disk is full, then only the data will be written on this disk. And after getting full, when this disk will full, and data will be written to this. Okay. And just simple, that is concatenation. And obviously the write operation will slow. We have the feature of only one disk at a time because it is writing on one disk now. And here concatenation has one benefit over the striping, that is we can expand the concatenation online. Means on the fly we can expand this without reconstructing the file system. Right. Another thing, that it does not bar the size of hard disk. So we can use any size of hard disk in concatenation. Let's 1 GB, 2 GB and 5 GB. Any size. So it will 5, 7 and 8 GB. Total concat will be of 8 GB. Right. Okay. And now is striping. What is striping? That all disks are used parallelly. Means a throughput of all disks. Well, suppose this disk has 20 IOPS, and all have the 20 IOPS. So in total IO performance will be of 80 IOPS, and the IOPS is input output operations per second. Well, actually the striping is just for performance, the maximum performance, where we can use the larger data and like multimedia. Well, and how the data is written in these disks when the striping in action. Suppose a data is scanned, so it is divided in chunks, and all chunks are written on disks parallelly. Well, so we can think that what is chunk? It is just a stripe unit of by default it is 64 KB. So we are talking about, if you are talking about the performance, then for maximum performance we need to assure that the data will be spread across all disks that are in stripe area. And how it will done? So it depends upon what we are going to use with the server. So just have an example that one example is of multimedia server and another example will be of DB server. So if we have to access or write a large file, then it would be great that if all disks will be participating in my request. If I am requesting of 700 MB file, generally it is movies. So, and we have 3, 4, 5, 6 disks in the stripe array. So, what we think that we should fetch data from this disk, this, this, or this. So what happened if my request will be fulfilled and served by all these 6 disks? Obviously I get the performance and my work will be faster. And that is, and how it will happen that if we divided the chunks in small sizes, and the small sizes, the recommendation is 512 bytes to 8 KB. Okay. And what happens if I have data of 32 KB? I'm continuously accessing data of 32 KB and all the users that are logged in the server accessing the same size, or more or less something. So what we prefer or suggest that to go on all these 6 for this 32 KB. It is just like that you have to buy some bread or something and you move to all stores and then buy from a store that is near your house. So this is wastage of time, wastage of performance, obviously degraded performance. That's why it should be on the single disk. For this we need the opposite at the, we had it earlier in the larger file system case, or sorry, larger file case. Well, in this case the small, here we are requesting the small IO. So it would be great if the chunks will be of a small size, and sorry, big chunks, that is 64 KB or more. Well, this is I understood by investing too much time, and I had researched about this and found that there is a war about this on the internet, and obviously I don't want to be a part of this, so I just left it default, that is 64 KB. So this is about our concatenation and striping. Okay, one more thing I forgot about striping that I have discussed earlier about the disk size and concatenation. Here is a boundary in striping. Well, suppose this is 300 MB disk and this is 900 MB disk and this is 2 GB disk, and you clubbed all these disks in a stripe volume. What happened? And the striping, what the stripe will do, that it pick the lowest and multiply it by the number of disks. So we will get the 900 MB space and wastage of all the rest. Okay. This is a limitation, and another limitation is if we want to expand, then we need to reconstruct the file system, means complete data loss, or better to back up the data before expansion. Well, I think the striping and concatenation has covered, that is basic. So So we move to red 1. Red 1 is the most used red, as I know, and I know that I don't know much. So, well, red 1. Just stand in front of mirror. What you see? Your application? That is red 1. Means each data you write will be replicated on the other disk simultaneously. So we have backup, and mostly it is used for backup. Okay. And the size of disk, it also matters in this case also. This case. So if we choose this 5 GB and this is for 15 GB, then only 5 GB will be replicated here, rest 10 GB wastage. So better to choose the same size. Well, one more thing I had seen. If this is disk A and this is disk B, so if disk A has corruption in OPT, means file system corruption, the same will replicate it here in this OPT. This is one case. And another case is, suppose this disk will be infected by some virus. The same will be replicated here. So what is the purpose of red 1? It will save us from hardware errors. If this hard disk will corrupted, means hardware will corrupted, then it is useful. But in case of file system, this is very dangerous to rely on red 1. Okay, this is about red 1. And one more thing about there is a terminology that is called disk duplexing. What is disk duplexing? I consider this C1, T1, D0. This is Solaris terminology of C1, T2, D1. Well, and these are mirrored. Okay, the controller is same, that is C1. If the controller got faulty, then what happened? Both disks will be inaccessible. So what we should do, that first is on C1 and another should be on C2. This is also a way, but better to have replicate the disk, means create the mirror and then make it offline. I used to do this, and I found no problem with this. And on Sundays, according to my convenience, I make it online, then sync it, and just again make it offline, so that at least I have a data of 1 week old data. Okay, actually it depends upon the policy of organization. We have nothing in our hand. Well, that is all about red 1. So we can move towards the red 1 plus 0. So here the performance and the fault tolerance. Maximum we are talking is the discussion is regarding the fault tolerance of 1 plus 0 and 0 plus 1. Well, first let's consider the 1 plus 0 scenario. I will discuss about the striking only. So what happened? Disks. I'm sorry for the annoying tick tick of mouse, but I can't do anything about this. Well, actually I have made this before, but to make it better understandable, 6. Well, this is 1 plus 0 means first the mirroring will happen and then the striping will happen, and we have these 3 sets of disk, and this is called 3-way mirror. Actually it is wastage of 1, but to understand better, because if this is 500 GB, 500 GB, so one set 500 GB, 500, 500, again 500 GB, 500, 500, again 500, is 1.5 GB is wasting and 1.5 GB is usable. Fine. So data here comes A, that will replicated here A. Then the striping will happen. B, B, C, then mirroring C, and D, D, E, E, F, F. In this way, data is written in 1 plus 0. Okay. And so we can go for the 0 plus 1. What happened in 0 plus 1? 0 is striping and 1 is mirroring. So stripe mirror. So we have 2 sets. Well, this is A and this is B. This 1 is 2, this 3, 4, 5 and 6. Good. Well, A is here. So first we have to stripe, then mirror. Then B is here, then B is here. Okay, this set A is finished. Let's replicate it. A, B and C. Again D, E, F. Again it will be replicated. D, E and F. Okay. The data will be written in this manner. And these two are mirrored together and these are strapped together. Okay. Well, so let's what about performance? And okay, if you are talking that, I mean, we can discuss the 1 plus 0 concatenation. Concatenation, we know that just fill the disk until it surrenders. So I am filling that disk with data D1, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K until it's means give up that okay, I'm not enough, I am full. So 1 plus 0, this is 1 plus 0. The data is written, it is mirrored. Again it is written, mirrored, written, mirrored. Okay. So let's talk about the fault tolerance. What is the fault tolerance? Let's have in we have four sets of this is one set, this is second, this is third, this is fourth. So D1 is crashed. It will operate, no problem. D3 got crashed. It will operate, there is no problem. D5 got crashed. It will again operate. And D7 will got crashed. It will operate. It can sustain 4 disks. This one from each set. We still have D2, D4, D6 and D8 in operation. It will run until one more disk failed. Means any of D2, 4, 6 and 8. So I think that this is more fault tolerant than 0 plus 1. Suppose D1 got crashed. So this set will not work. And the set B will work fine, no problem. Then what happened if disk 4 will got crashed? We lost our data and redundancy also. So we can tell that this is more fault tolerant than 0 plus 1. Okay, this was about the concat stripe 1 plus 0 and 0 plus 1 striping. So in next we will go for red 5, in which we will discuss some parity and then the mode of operation. So thanks for watching this.